After sharing the video online, the Nguyen family says several others have shared video of similar experiences with suspects that match the same description. Police are still on the hunt for the suspects.
Now, that right there is exactly the kind of situation why we need castle laws here in Canada.
Well, if you don't want to get shot or beaten up, don't break into people's houses. It's pretty straightforward.
Today, we're diving into a story out of Calgary, Alberta's biggest city, that's going to get you thinking. We got a local man and his family attacked right in their own home after a simple online transaction through Facebook Marketplace turned into a nightmare. And guess what? While this is happening, our federal government here in Canada is busy trying to disarm regular folks with their gun buyback scheme. But it seems like the government of Alberta remains defiant when it comes to gun confiscations.
Our homes are our castles.
A Sovereignty Act motion on the floor of the Alberta legislature. The government invoking it to try to exempt Albertans from a federal ban on assault-style guns, as well as the buyback program aimed at getting those firearms off the streets.
The motion will instruct every single provincial entity, including law enforcement agencies such as municipal police forces, to decline to enforce or implement the federal gun seizure program.
The Justice Minister's motion argues the ban is unconstitutional, interferes with the rights of gun owners, and enforcing it is not in the public interest. The motion also asks prosecutors to not charge citizens who use reasonable force against intruders and to consider police response times in those cases. This all comes after the Premier warned, quote, low-life criminals that Albertans will shoot if invaded.
Send the advice that Premier is giving to Albertans on the self-defense and castle law. That may be the law down in states, but that's not the law here.
The federal public safety minister defended the gun ban Tuesday and said the buyback program could roll out nationwide in weeks.
All right, let's break this down. We've got Premier Danielle Smith and the Conservative Party stepping up with a castle law-style move. They're basically telling the feds, we're not going to let you leave our citizens defenseless. While Ottawa's busy pushing policies that make it easier for criminals to roam free, Alberta's doing the exact opposite. They're telling provincial entities and all those in charge to ignore federal gun grabs and let people defend their homes. It's a bit of a good old-fashioned common sense move for a change. If you want to keep your family safe, we're not going to let Ottawa stand in your way.
Well, the province is introducing a motion it says will protect law-abiding gun owners. It says if passed, it will direct provincial authorities to decline to enforce Ottawa's gun buyback program. It will also direct Crown prosecutors to refrain from prosecuting people who acted in self-defense to protect themselves or their families. The new motion will be under the Alberta Sovereignty Within a United Canada Act. Justice Minister Mickey Amery says Albertans should be able to feel safe in their homes.
If somebody tries to come into my home and I have young children, the Crown should be considering that as a factor in determining whether or not the response was reasonable.
And that's the bigger picture here. While criminals get a free pass and the government wants to take away your means to protect yourself, Alberta's saying, nope, not here. They're making it clear that your home is your castle, and they're putting the responsibility right where it belongs. On the criminals, not on law-abiding folks.
This is the first I've ever experienced something like this. So,
Newlywed Jason Nguyen regularly builds, refurbishes, and sells laptops online. Over the weekend, he posted an ad for a gaming laptop for sale and got interested buyers right away.
I want them to feel comfortable with purchasing such an expensive laptop. I want them to fully test it. So I'm telling them to test it, and they're telling me, go ahead and just box it up.
It turns out the buyers wanted the laptop but had no intention of paying.
I was gonna box it up and stuff like that, but then they pulled out the bear spray and they sprayed it all across my face, in my eyes, and they continuously sprayed. At that point, I was blinded. I couldn't see anything at all. I just grabbed on to whatever I could grab on at the time, and it was the perpetrator, the person that sprayed me. And at that time, he went for the laptop and then the other individual just went out the door right away. And because I held on to that guy, he dropped the laptop.
Because of the bear spray, like I can't see anything, and the smell is so strong. So I follow him outside, and I see my husband is being dragged outside, and then I just see the shovel.
Once outside, one perpetrator re-enters the house to retrieve his phone that was dropped in the scuffle.
When he re-entered our home the second time, that's when I attacked him. My wife went in first, and she grabbed a hold of him, and I didn't want anything to happen to her, so I started attacking him right away. I hit him in the head, and I punched him. I brought him to the ground, and then my wife, she brought in a shovel. I took the handle, and I started hitting him with the shovel.
Same thing for law-abiding gun owners. They bought their guns legally in good faith. And the last thing we want our policing resources or our Crown prosecutors doing is wasting their time going after law-abiding citizens. Let's go after the bad guys there too. We've got plenty of gangs and organized crime and people who are up to no good. That's where our policing and our prosecution priority should be. And so we passed a motion in the legislature to affirm that. And it is one of the powers that we have as a province, that yes, the federal government can put forward criminal code sanctions as part of their constitutional jurisdiction. Well, we're responsible for administration of justice and policing. And so we can exercise our jurisdiction by declining to make that a priority for policing or prosecution.
Okay, so as we wrap this up, let me ask you, should we be letting the federal government disarm law-abiding citizens while criminals roam free? Or should we be backing provinces like Alberta that stand up and say, we're putting families and their well-being first? If you support this message, hit that subscribe button. It's completely free, it helps to spread the word, and it also lets YouTube know that this is a conversation worth having. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Thank you for watching. If you support these videos, subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss an update from PJ. Special thanks to each and every channel member for your support and for making these reports possible. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.